Hello and welcome to the talks. My name is Kai from Kairós. Kairós is a platform that has been created in order to give insights and perspectives from successful and experienced artists about the music industry in order to help and inspire people that find themselves in the beginning of their musical journeys. Today, I'm very excited to start this series off with Floyd Lavine. Welcome, Floyd, to the first episode of the talks.
Thank you.
You have been described as an African nomad, growing up in South Africa, moving to London, and now finding yourself in this creative hub, Berlin. Tell us a little something about yourself.
My story basically starts from I'm South African born, and now I'm Berlin based. I'm an electronic musician. I make house and techno, but of course, as I'm African, I'm influenced by the continent. So that's just a small history of who I am.
Yeah.
It's an electronic musician based in Berlin.
But before we get into the jargon, tell us about you growing up in South Africa.
Wow, I was born in the 80s, so South Africa during that time was an interesting space because it was during the apartheid era. Mm-hmm. So it was very segregated, and I was born during that time. So a bit of history, if you don't know about South Africa, it's gone through a very transformation. And for most people, they associate South Africa with Nelson Mandela, and that's the whole kind of process of transformation from apartheid to '94. So that kind of affected, of course, that affects your music, you know, in the sense that you come from a place where it was politically charged.
Right.
So
right.
That was kind of my early growing up of South Africa.
And so, how did that influence you on the decision that you wanted to become a musician?
I guess your music kind of expresses where you're from and what you feel socially about things, you know.
Right.
And for myself, it's always a social commentary, regardless if you don't think it is or not. You know, I guess, from where you're from and where you want to go. I think making electronic music, techno, house, that's why somehow Berlin is kind of a special city, because it kind of had this similar segregated feel. Do you know what I mean? Like
Definitely.
being an island within its own land. So for me, techno and house kind of gives that feeling of using spaces to kind of express yourself within confined areas. So yeah, I think maybe in a way that's how psychologically I was thinking about house and techno,
right.
And dancing and expressing.
And then eventually it clicked and you decided to follow this path.
Yeah, I think sometimes, I didn't think about it logically, but I kind of like the feeling of how music makes you move.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the early thought of seeing people move to music. Mm-hmm. More or less is that's how I kind of seen, you put something on and all of a sudden people are moving.
Right.
And moving in such a way, when you dance, you can't help but laugh or smile or pull a face or something like this. So that for me was a powerful force. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, I like this.
Right.
I'm gonna go there.
And so in a world where music wouldn't exist, where would you be right now?
On a beach.
On a beach? What would you be doing on this beach?
Drinking a beer, chilling out. I don't know, what would you be doing?
I actually don't know.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. If there was no music, yeah, it's impossible though. I mean, it would be like a black and white movie with no music.
Exactly.
I can't even imagine it, because everything you do is like rhythms, Everything, everywhere you can hear things moving. So it's impossible. It means that we'll all be deaf, but then there'll also be some sort of sound. It might not be music as we know it, but it'll be some sort of feeling. Do you know what I mean?
Now, when we talk about you, we refer to you as a very successful artist, and obviously also very experienced. But we're wondering, how exactly do you perceive success, and how would you describe it for yourself?
So success for me is being able to wake up every day and do what you love.
Right.
Not necessarily success equals economic power, but more being able to be proud of what you're doing every single day. So it doesn't matter if your friends are doing something completely different to you, or people are let's say financially viable. For you, it's about everybody determines what success is for them. Some people's success is just waking up and having a family. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Sometimes success is just being a good dad.
Right.
So sometimes in life, success, I guess, is is very personal to you, and you have to keep it that way, because there's no such thing. There's nothing which you can obtain from success. There's no end goal to success. There's no like, do you know what I'm saying? So there's no like, when you get to the end, like someone's gonna give you a high five. Like, yo, that's what it is. You have to live your success every day. So it's just basically just getting out of bed can be a success. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Making your bed is a success, because you're gonna come back to that spot again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you take the small steps every day as kind of a success journey, that for me is every single, you know, some days I don't feel like it, so I have to create a different type of success. Like just brushing my teeth is success, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I'm hungover, I have to please brush my teeth, you know? So I kind of get like, that's my success. It gives me something. Do you know those days where you're like, oh man, life sucks. Just do that small thing. And that becomes like a small kind of, you know, affirmation to yourself, you know? So you take daily steps to create daily successes. Because if you're constantly aiming for this big thing, when you get there, there is nothing there. You know, when I was like younger, I'm still young, but when I thought to myself, okay, when I play at this certain place, or play at this certain arena, or certain club, I'm successful. And you get there, you're like, yeah, I get there, I still have to do the same thing, I still think the same, still there's so many more things to accomplish. So, yeah, to sum it up, success is a very personal thing.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? And you have to reset it every day, because only every day can you succeed in what you want to do.
Right.
So there's no such thing as like, you know, an infinite goal.
Now, Floyd, you've already lived in so many places. How important do you think is location in the music industry itself?
Well, yeah, I mean, location is very important. The reason why for me location is important, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. You know, there's always been different places, depending on in certain times and eras in timelines. So, for example, if you're into art, I would, like, you know, back in the days, I would say, you know, Paris was the place to be. You know what I mean? If you're into certain music in the early, let's say the early 80s, New York was where it was. You know what I mean? So for myself, in my experience of club culture and electronic music, Berlin is a place for me to be. Do you know what I mean? Berlin is infamous for its, you know, for its nightlife, but also for the amazing producers and musicians that it's brought up. So location is key for that specific reason.
Right.
But also it's not the most important thing, because the future is here now. You know, we've got technology, we've got internet and everything else. But for me, I need to be in a place. Let's say I'm a creature of my environment. Do you know what I mean? So if I'm close to where the action is, I kind of behave like the city or the place that I'm in. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if I'm around people that are constantly inspiring me, I get inspired. So that's the reason why I would say for me, location is key. Right. To constantly feed off and give back to, let's say, the city that you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously Berlin is a hub for many musicians, and obviously you can expand your network here quite well.
Yeah.
However, you've lived in London for a while as well.
Yeah.
What brought you to the decision to move to London and study music production there?
I mean, because I was based in South Africa, London was the obvious choice during the time, and in the 2000s, London was I mean, London is still, but London was thriving. You know what I mean, in terms of like nightlife, and electronic nightlife, but just general. Like London is a mega city.
Right.
So I'd never been to a mega city, so I wanted to go experience something completely different. Coming from South Africa, you're constantly limited to what you can see. Mm-hmm. So going to London, it opened my eyes to different things, different people, different ways of thinking, different, let's say, different ways to express yourself. People don't really, I wouldn't say care, but they don't care what you do. You just have to have something to offer. Yeah. That's what big cities do. Do you know what I mean? Definitely. It's not necessarily, okay, it's gonna be, the thing about small cities that it allows you to be in your comfort zone. Big cities don't really give you that freedom because there's just so much input. So you have to either adapt or just move on. Do you know what I mean? It might not be for you, but for me, that kind of environment I strive on. Do you know what I mean? It gives you results immediately. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I love London, and that's why it's a city like that for me is important. Mm-hmm. So it gives you that feedback constantly. Yeah. You know, if I'm doing something good, is this good or not? Oh, yeah. So that's good.